Hello, Scorpio. Thank you so much for being here with me. All right, guys, a little weird this time. So from Le Vampire, you pulled Outsider, Misfit, Loner, and Wanderer. And then from Chakra Wisdom, you pulled Gossip. Now, Outsider, I think, is a given as far as Scorpio goes, but it's almost like you're on the outside looking in on a situation here where there may be, the gossip going on, right? Now, this card is really about watching and observing and recording, which, yeah, that's usually what Scorpio does. Even people with Scorpio rising will do that before they let their sun sign come out. Kind of sitting back and watching what's going on first. But, what bothers me with gossip is that for some of you, you just may feel like you're on the outside of something. Now, gossip, the card at a glance says that this card represents a truly open heart with no personal agenda other than love. But it could also indicate the opposite, rebellion and denying your true gifts. An ability to follow your heart can appear to others as careless or strange, yet in truth, everyone wishes they had that loving openness. So, it could be a situation here where people are not appreciating your own unique gifts, right? Not appreciating who you are. And now it's like feeling like you're on the outside. But I worry that for some of you, you may be caught up in a situation here where there's like gossip and rumors going on and shit, right? All right, Scorp, here we go. Here is your overall for the week. Man. The Eight of Swords. So, when we're talking about outsider and you're talking about gossip and we're looking at, the creative part of it, for some of you, there's just like a mental block that's going on. Now, for some of you with the Eight of Swords, it could be a situation that you feel trapped in. You don't know how to get out of it. You may not know how to think or how to feel about a situation. But really with the Eight of Swords, the message has always been that you're not really bound to anything, right? It's really up to you on being able to follow the path that's in front of you, It worries me a little bit. Oh boy. Past coming through, the Queen of Swords. I feel both with this one. I think for some of you, you are dealing with a person that may be difficult to deal with. You're talking about air with Queen of Swords. But it's only because she's been through some shit, right? And maybe, it's just needing to see a way out of a difficult situation with somebody. Now, on the other hand, this could definitely represent you coming through. And I've been seeing this a lot as far as the energy that people are feeling. Right? You've been through some shit. You're done dealing with nonsense. You're cutting straight to the point here. You're not wanting to deal with gossip or none of that crap, but you may be stuck in a situation here that's like difficult to get out of. Oh boy. So, maybe dealing with a couple of people here. The Queen of Pentacles in the present. So you have air and earth going on here. In the earth sign, she normally, I would say, is a really good person to get advice from, really down to earth, right? The Queen of Pentacles very much reminds me of the Empress and the woman in the Nine of Pentacles. So this is somebody who does not need another person's help to create their own comfort and stability, right? She knows how to bust her ass, pay the bills, take care of the home, all that stuff. You have the logical and the practical part coming through here, but I do think that for some of you, you're dealing with a situation with two different people here and not really knowing how to get out of this. And it worries me a little bit as far as what you're getting involved in, Now, that's not too bad. The Ace of Pentacles coming out of this situation, even with the Eight of Swords, is not a bad thing here. It's just a matter of, getting to this new beginning for you, or this fresh start, right? Seeing your way out of a difficult situation here and making the most of the Ace of Pentacles. And I love it because, it talks about sustainability. If this carries you through to the 10, it's a good indicator that, things are going to be good in the long run as long as you make the most of this. This could definitely be a new beginning with relationships as far as people in your life. It could be that a friend is coming through to offer you an opportunity, possibly for some of you, but you can't see your way out of a difficult spot. But yet that ace is still there for you, right? Man. And there it is. So your best path to follow, the Ten of Pentacles. So what I kind of feel like is, if, first of all, if we're talking about, you know, people that are around you right now, they could definitely be responsible for like presenting an opportunity for you here. It's just whether or not, you know, you're going to take this opportunity. The Ten of Pentacles being your best path to follow is saying that you're okay. No matter what happens, you're going to have stability and security. You know, but it's also important here to look at what is going to happen in the long run if you leave a situation that you feel like you're trapped in, right? It's almost like a reminder that it's okay. You still have this security and stability. And what's funny is that I felt the same way last week. Like, you have what you need, you're fine, you know? But I do think that for some of you, that Queen of Swords is really what this is all about. I think that you're having a hard time, though, tapping back into that. And I do think that you're getting assistance here. I don't think that you're on your own. I think somebody sees the difficulty that you're going through, and, you know, it's like somebody's there to offer you like a helping hand almost. Because this, to me, feels almost like the Six of Pentacles. Okay. In your environment, the Emperor. Now, and again, he's showing up. The Emperor being in your environment, though, this time, right? Like, you have Aries, you have Earth, you have air going on. But this is really pointing to the fact that there may be like a dominant presence over you. You know, the Emperor is about exerting his will into his environment. It is about control and order out of chaos. You know, but this is somebody that is like needing to be in control. You know, do you feel like you're in a controlling situation here? You know, are you needing the help or the assistance of somebody else to get out of this? You know, are you worried about security and stability, right? And is that why the Ten of Pentacles is showing up here? Man. But looking at the Queen of Swords and the Emperor and you in the middle with the Eight of Swords, if you're in a difficult spot right now, it's almost like you're just not seeing eye to eye at all. It's like a struggle. It's like a power struggle that's going on almost. And I think that you're wanting to get out of this, you know, and I have to wonder here with the outsider and gossip if, you know, it's one of those things where people are talking about, did you hear about so-and-so and what they're dealing with and who they're dealing with and blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? But yet you have assistance coming through. And that's what I feel like with the Queen of Pentacles. I mean, and even if this is representing you, two aspects of yourself here, with the Emperor being there, this being in your environment is telling me that this is what is affecting what is going on now. So this more so is going to be the influence that's being exerted on you. So I do feel like this is going to have to do with another person. Especially with the Eight of Swords being there. Man. Oh, Scorp. Okay. Now, and I know this situation, like I've been there. Like I get it. The Seven of Swords in your hopes and fears, I don't necessarily feel like this is a situation where you're worried about any kind of sneaky low-down shit. Because, you know, if you already feel stuck in a situation, why would you even be worried about that? It doesn't even matter at this point. You know what I'm saying? So it's almost like, and it's funny because I seen this for Sag last week. It's like you needing to get the hell out of the situation. And, you know, it may be one of those things where it's not wanting to be found out or wanting to just kind of sneak away here. Like, I'm done dealing with this. I can't, you know, exert any more force onto this to try to, you know, get control over this person exerting their own control over you. You know what I'm saying? And it's like with the Seven of Swords, I need to get the hell out. Take with you what you can and get the hell out, right? But you're still in this position here with the Eight of Swords where it's almost like, I don't know. you know, but you do have the opportunity there. Oh, shit. Why? Why? Scorp, what the hell? The devil. No. You know, this almost feels like a situation here where for some of you, you're just falling right back into a toxic situation with a person who wants to control you, is what it feels like. Oh, man. And I'm going to say this again. This is a general reading. It is not going to apply to everybody. If it does not resonate, throw it away. You know, take what you can from this. Whatever doesn't resonate, get rid of it, right? But I'm telling you that I really do feel like this is for somebody who is feeling like they're in a situation where somebody is trying to be dominant over them. You're wanting to get the hell out of it. You may be worried about security and stability, but I get this feeling, though, that there's somebody there. There is somebody there that is willing to give you the assistance and the new start that you need. But with the devil coming out, it's almost like, no, I'm too comfortable in this situation. I know what this is, right? Why would I want to do something where, you know, I'm questioning on whether or not I'm going to be okay, you know, but then at the same time, you're wanting to get out of it. But do you, though, right? Okay. First of all, the Hierophant. You want to talk about dominant? Yes. Conformity is a part of the Hierophant. This could also be talking about a commitment. So for some of you, possibly a marriage. Or it could just be a commitment that you have made with somebody, right? But definitely stubborn energy between the Emperor and this one, and then seeing the devil there. Yeah, no. Now, with the Knight of Wands, you know, it makes me wonder if this is what is describing the devil here. In you dealing with somebody who is continuously in and out of your life, but then at the same time trying to control what you're doing. But yet they're not really making a commitment here. I love the Knight of Wands. I do. I like the idea of something coming in like a whirlwind, a passion, but I don't like the idea of it being a continuous thing where they're in and out. If you're going to do it once, that's fine. But if you're going to continuously do this, you can't expect anything to change. And then you have the Three of Swords, which is not good. You know, heartbreak. So if you continue to stay with the devil, you're going to continue to be heartbroken, right? If you get that mental clarity, right, you're going to open up to the magic of life, but it's also going to open the door for you to have adventure. But you got to take this. You have to take it, right? Because it's there. Wow. And this is the second time that I've seen adventure. I think Virgo got it. And then you've got the Queen of Pentacles right there. But definitely needing some mental clarity on the situation. And I feel like that is what you're working toward. Because you're still pulling on this energy of the Queen of Swords. You want to talk about somebody who is mentally sharp. It's her. She's quick. Right? But you need a little bit more magic in your life. And the only way that that's going to happen is if you take this adventure. Right? Instead of staying with toxic shit. You know, it's one thing for me to see the Eight of Cups, but when I see the devil, immediately I'm like, no, stop doing that to yourself. Absolutely not. That's not healthy, and you don't deserve that. And then love who you are. Fucking right. You are a divine and wonderful person, deserving of all the wonderful things that life has to offer. There you go. I'm telling you, you know, and again, right, this isn't going to resonate with everybody, but whoever I'm talking to here, like I know. When I was 18 years old, I was in an extremely abusive relationship, physically and mentally. And I finally stopped chaining myself to that devil, and I moved on. And it's not easy, but damn it, you can get there. And you can get to this point where you have your own security and stability. Whew. You know, and I understand the fear of the Seven of Swords because it almost feels like that's your only option on getting out of this. But I do think that for some of you, the right assistance is going to be there for you. You just have to take this opportunity. All right, Scorp. So overall here, it's all about you being trapped in a situation or feeling like you're stuck with something and not really seeing your way out or not wanting to see your way out of this. Now, I do worry about the people that you have around you because of outsider and gossip. You know, it could be a situation where you're dealing with people that, you know, are talking about you and your situation. You know, but I'm hoping here that it's you being on the outside looking in on your own situation here and realizing that things need to change. Now, as far as these go, you know, this could definitely be talking about the two different aspects of yourself coming into this situation. One being cold and straight to the point, and the other one being more concerned with her security and stability. Now, I do think, though, for some of you, you may have some assistance coming through where somebody is giving you the opportunity to have a fresh start. It's just whether or not you want to take it. Now, the problem here is because of, you know, I mean, when you get these three together, it's no good. It's not a good situation. Now, with the Emperor being in your environment, we can definitely be talking about a controlling person who is not even really there, but yet you are still allowing this to happen. And then the other thing, too, is it could be about you needing to get control over what is going on. But, you know, I have to wonder here with the Devil and the Emperor, if you're not dealing with somebody who's already committed or married, but you're not really wanting to get out of this situation. But what bothers me is the fact that, you know, it's not long term. It's almost like this person is just going to continue to do whatever the hell they think they want to do and being in and out of your life and continuing to cause you heartbreak because you can't get this stability with them, right? Now, with the Seven of Swords, if we're talking about a married situation here, that takes on a totally different meaning, right? Like not wanting to be caught. But, you know, on the other hand here, I think that this is a situation for some of you where you're just needing to pick up and go. And it's almost like needing to ghost them, right? I've been hearing that a lot. People are like, well, yeah, I just ghosted them. I don't know if it's because I'm old. Like, at first I was like, what the hell does that mean? Right? But with the Seven of Swords, you know, either not wanting to get caught or needing to just get the hell out, you know, without even saying anything. But whatever it is, Scorpio, I'm telling you, with the Devil coming out on this, if you continue to do this, you're just going to end up being heartbroken. Now, with the soul trees here, right? Clarity, needing to have clarity through this nonsense, seeing the magic in life and needing more magic in your life. And the only way you're going to get that is by having some adventure, right? Like you need to take that opportunity with the Ace of Pentacles because as far as it happening with the Devil, it's a no. Like seriously. Right? Now, you know, and the big time issue here, I think for some of you is going to be self-esteem, honestly, because looking at Whispers of Love, love makes a difference. And the only difference right now is you loving yourself and being able to get past the pain and find that security and stability. But I'm telling you, Scorp, if you continue to do this, you're just going to end up heartbroken over and over and over again if you're dealing with a person who's just in and out. Right? I love the Knight of Wands, but, you know, if you're looking for commitment there, honestly, I don't think that it's going to happen.